Let me take you back to a moment that completely shifted the course of my life. You see, people don't become unstoppable by accident. It's never random. Being unstoppable is something you build on purpose. And the foundation of that, it's your habits. Most people wake up each day and instantly fall into reaction mode. The alarm blares, the phone lights up with notifications, and they launch into the day like they're on autopilot, just going through the motions. But here's the hard truth. When you live that way, you're not creating anything meaningful. You're just surviving. Now listen closely. Success isn't some sudden, dramatic transformation that happens overnight. It's not lightning in a bottle. True success is born from simple disciplines, repeated day after day. That's the secret. I used to wonder, just like you might have, why some people rise to greatness while others barely make it through the week. I kept asking myself, is it luck? Is it talent? But the truth I eventually discovered was so much simpler. It's none of those things. It's habits. Daily habits. In this video, I want to share with you the 7 daily habits that changed everything for me. Habits that gave structure to my days, clarity to my thoughts, and strength to every action I took. So if you've ever felt stuck, like there's more inside you that you haven't yet tapped into, if you're hungry to take back control of your time, your mind, and your future, then don't just passively watch this video. Dive into it, study it, because sometimes just one idea, one habit, can shift your entire path. Let's get into it. Habit 1. Plan your day before it begins. This might be one of the most powerful insights you'll ever hear. Don't start your day until it's finished. Now you might be wondering, what does that even mean? Well, it means never walking into your day without a clear direction. Don't let the day control you. If you begin your morning uncertain, unsure of what to do, you're already behind. Because here's the truth. If you don't have a plan for your day, someone else does. And life? It's quick to fill in the gaps for you. Most people operate in response mode. They wake up, check their phones, get distracted, rush toward whatever feels urgent, and call it productivity. But let's be real, that's not thriving. That's just surviving. The real difference between someone who's merely busy and someone who's truly productive boils down to one thing: a plan. A well-thought-out plan gives your day structure. It gives your actions purpose. And most importantly, it gives you back the driver's seat. And the best part? Planning doesn't have to take long. Just 10 minutes of quiet focus in the morning, or even better, the night before, can completely transform how your next day unfolds. In those 10 minutes, you decide what matters. You decide what gets your energy and what doesn't. You choose who gets your attention and who no longer drains it. Here's exactly what I do before I end my day. I ask myself a simple question. What are the 3 most important things I need to accomplish tomorrow? Not 30, just 3. And then I write them down. Why? Because writing brings clarity. It makes the invisible visible. It turns vague intentions into concrete goals. Once it's written, it becomes real. And what's real can be achieved. Writing forces you to focus. It cuts through the noise. It gives your subconscious a clear set of marching orders. But here's a bonus you might not expect. When you plan your day, you're not just managing time. You're mastering emotion. You remove that foggy morning confusion. You walk into the day with certainty and power. And trust me, people notice. You carry yourself differently. You lead instead of chasing. You're ahead, not scrambling to keep up. And there's a certain quiet magic in being ahead, isn't there? So here's the question I leave with you. When will you start finishing your day before it begins? Because if you don't take charge of your time, someone else will. If you don't decide your priorities, distractions will decide them for you. Start every morning with clarity. Start every day with purpose. Build your momentum with discipline. Because the person who plans the day wins the day. So tonight, before your head hits the pillow, do yourself a favor. Grab a pen, write down your 3 priorities, and watch how tomorrow unfolds with new energy and intention. And now, let's move forward. We just talked about the power of planning your day, how it puts you in control and turns intention into action. But even the most perfectly planned day won't matter if your mind isn't in the right place. Habit 2. Feed your mind with wisdom. Let me share something I learned early in my journey. Your mind, it's like a garden. Whether you're paying attention or not, something is always growing. You can choose to plant beautiful flowers, thoughts filled with wisdom, purpose, and clarity, or you can let the weeds of distraction, doubt, and negativity take over. But make no mistake, something will grow either way. Here's the key principle I live by. If you truly want to live a rich, meaningful life, you must treat your mind as your most precious asset, because it is. I used to tell myself, Jim, I don't have time to read. Sound familiar? But then I took a hard look at how I was spending my days. I had time for television. I had time for idle gossip. I had time for things that added nothing to my life. What I didn't have was direction, and that realization changed everything. I made a decision to feed my mind daily with something wise, something real, something that made me think bigger and become better. I sought out books, audio programs, inspirational lectures, podcasts, mentors, anything that could challenge my thinking, stretch my beliefs, and grow my perspective. Here's what I believe now with absolute certainty: miss a meal if you must, but never ever miss your daily dose of mental nourishment. Why is this habit so powerful? Because your mind is a filter through which you experience life. It shapes how you interpret the world around you. It defines what you believe about yourself, what you expect from others, and what you think is even possible. Feed your mind with junk, drama, noise, shallow distractions, and you'll end up living a surface-level life. But feed it with timeless wisdom, and you'll start to make smarter choices, build better habits, and elevate your entire way of living. Let me give you something practical. Start with just 10 pages a day. That's it. Not 100, not 50, just 10 quality pages from a powerful book. It could be on personal growth, health, finances, relationships, mindset, leadership, whatever area of life you want to level up. You might think 10 pages won't make a difference, but let's do the math. That's 3,650 pages a year, enough to read and absorb the wisdom from 10 to 15 full books. And sadly, that's more than many people read in a decade. So here's the truth. If you want your life to improve, your thinking has to improve first, because better thinking leads to better decisions. Better decisions lead to better results, whether that's in your career, your income, your relationships, or your sense of joy. You want to become unstoppable? Then feed your mind. Every single day, no exceptions. Make it as automatic as brushing your teeth. Because here's what wisdom does that motivation alone never will. It grounds you when life gets messy. It brings clarity when the path feels confusing. And when you feel tempted to quit, wisdom quietly reminds you to keep going. So, here's your next move. Pick a book. Any book that speaks to your soul. Open to page 1. Let that be the moment your mind stopped shrinking and started expanding. Let's build a brain strong enough to create a life worth living, because that's the true power of feeding your mind with wisdom. We've just talked about how feeding your mind with wisdom builds clarity and strength from the inside out. But let's be honest, your mind can only go as far as your energy will carry it. That brings us to the next powerful habit. Habit 3. Move your body. Master your energy. Whatever you can do today, no matter how small, do it, and then, when tomorrow comes, do it again. Because motion leads to momentum. And momentum, that's the spark that turns into motivation. And when you're consistently motivated, that's when you become truly unstoppable. Here's a principle I live by and teach to everyone I mentor. Treat your body like a performance machine, not a storage unit. What does that mean? It means fueling your body with the right foods, giving it proper rest, and, most importantly, moving it every single day. You'll be amazed by the transformation that happens when your body is operating at full capacity. You speak with more authority. You process information more clearly. You enter every room with presence, and people can sense it. Your energy becomes magnetic. Remember this, success isn't just about mindset. It's also about movement. When your body is worn out, neglected, or depleted, everything suffers, your mood, your focus, even your passion. But when your body is strong and active, everything in your life begins to rise. So here's your challenge. Commit to moving your body for just 20 minutes a day. That's all it takes to start. It doesn't need to be a marathon. It doesn't require fancy equipment. Just simple, consistent movement. Stretching, walking, dancing, running, even bodyweight exercises in your living room. Why does this matter? Because motion breathes energy into your purpose. And purpose without energy? That's just a daydream. If you want to lead others, build your vision, and inspire the people around you, then mastering your energy is non-negotiable. And it starts with one intentional step. Now that your energy is activated, let's channel it with laser-sharp direction. Habit 4. Review your goals daily. Let me share a habit that separates high performers from the average crowd. Think of your goals like magnets. They're designed to pull you toward your desired future, but only if you keep them in sight. Only if you remind yourself every single day what you're chasing. Let me ask you something. Do you clearly know where you're going? And more importantly, have you looked at it today? Here's what I've discovered through years of coaching and experience. People don't fail because they don't have goals. They fail because they forget them. They get excited, write them down in a journal, close the book, and never look again. They call it ambition, but what they've actually done is buried their own dreams. Here's a truth I live by. A goal that isn't reviewed is a goal that will be replaced. Replaced by distractions. Replaced by doubt. Replaced by the endless noise of a world that pulls you in every direction except the one you chose for yourself. That's why I made it a ritual. Every morning before the noise of the day began, I reviewed my goals. I didn't just read them. I visualized them. I felt them. I reconnected with my purpose and reminded myself of why it all mattered, because goals are not to-do lists. They're targets. And if you don't take aim every day, you'll drift, first weekly, then monthly, and eventually you'll wonder how a whole year slipped by. So let's simplify. Take your top 3 goals right now, big or small, personal or professional, and starting tomorrow morning, speak them out loud. Let them enter your mind through your eyes, your ears, and your spirit. Say them until you believe. Believe them until you chase. Chase them until they're real. Daily review creates daily focus, and focus is how you win. If you truly want to, change your life. Stop treating your goals like New Year's resolutions. Review them daily, like a general preparing for battle, because that's who you are, the commander of your future. Here's the next step. Put your goals where you can see them. On your bathroom mirror, on your phone screen, inside your notebook, wherever you'll look, place them there. The more often you see your goals, the more emotionally connected you become to them. And that connection? It's what turns intention into reality. Review your goals every day, because the future isn't built in years. It's built one day at a time. Now that you've set your vision in motion, let's talk about how to fuel your heart for the journey ahead. Habit 5. Practice gratitude intentionally. Let me share something rarely discussed, yet absolutely life-changing. Gratitude. It's not simply an emotion you feel on special occasions. It's not reserved for holidays or moments of triumph. Gratitude is a discipline, a practice you commit to even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. You see, anyone can feel thankful once a year, but the transformation comes when you choose to be grateful every single day. Here's a truth I learned that reshaped how I think and feel. What you focus on expands. If you constantly fixate on what's going wrong, on what's missing, or on how unfair life seems, that's exactly what grows. But shift your focus to what's working, to what's present, to what you do have, and suddenly, your peace grows, your joy deepens, your strength returns. For the longest time, I thought gratitude meant just saying thank you. But it's so much more than that. It's not just an action. It's a lens, a habit of the heart, a perspective that reshapes how you experience the world. Most people wake up and immediately think of what's lacking, what's not enough, what they still haven't achieved, and then they wonder why the day feels heavy, why their energy is low, why the fire inside them fades so quickly. But let me be blunt. You can't build a rich and fulfilling life with a bitter mind. You can't reach new heights while dragging around a mindset rooted in complaint. You must train your eyes to see the good, even when the road feels rough, even when the progress is slow. So here's what I began doing, and it changed everything. Each morning, before I touched my phone or started the day, I wrote down just 3 things I was grateful for. Not 20, just 3. Simple things. A hot cup of coffee, a roof over my head, the opportunity to try again. That small habit lifted my spirit. It shifted my attitude. It changed the way I treated people. Because when you feel grateful, you don't speak the same way. You don't move through life the same way. You smile more. You stress less. And most of all, you attract better energy, better people, and better outcomes. People are drawn to grateful souls. They gravitate toward energy that uplifts, not energy that complains. And the best part? Gratitude doesn't wait for everything to be perfect. It doesn't require more. It only requires awareness. Start exactly where you are. Be thankful for what's already in your hands. That simple shift in energy, that quiet strength, can make you unstoppable. Here's your challenge. Before each day begins, write down 3 things you're grateful for. And don't just list them, feel them. Let them soften your heart. Let them reset your focus. Gratitude isn't just a good habit, it's a winning habit. And remember this, true growth happens when you learn to be deeply thankful for what you already have, while still reaching for what you desire. That's the mindset of a leader. That's how you rise. And speaking of rising, let's move into the next habit that has the power to elevate not just your mindset, but the lives of everyone around you. Habit 6. Speak with purpose and positivity. Let me challenge you with a question that could change everything. How do you talk about yourself when no one's listening? What language do you use in your head in private moments? Do you say things like, "I'm always tired," or "nothing ever works for me," or "I'll never be good enough"? Those aren't just harmless phrases. They're agreements. Every time you speak them, you reinforce them. And your life will always rise or fall to the level of the words you consistently use. But here's the truth. If you speak with belief, if you speak with hope, with intention, with vision, your life begins to mirror that energy instead. So here's your habit. Every day, say something powerful about your future. Speak encouragement not just to yourself, but to others too. And speak truth, honest, uplifting truth that moves you forward, not backward. Your voice carries more power than you realize. It doesn't just echo into the world, it echoes back into you. So don't use your words just to describe your situation. Use them to transform it. Speak as if the world is paying attention, because it is. And more importantly, you are. You're always listening to yourself. Make sure what you're hearing lifts you up. Now, as we reach the final habit, it's time to tie everything together, to end each day as intentionally as we begin it. Habit 7. Reflect, refine, and prepare for tomorrow. Let me tell you something I truly wish I'd learned earlier in life. Your past should be your teacher, not your tormentor. But for most people, the end of the day looks like this. They collapse into bed, drained, distracted, done. The lights go off, but no wisdom is gained. The day ends, but the lessons are left behind. If you want to be unstoppable, if you want to make more progress in months than most do in years, you need to create a powerful nightly ritual. Just 10 minutes before you shut down, ask yourself 3 simple questions. What did I do well today? What could I have done better? What will I do differently tomorrow? That, my friend, is personal leadership. That's how you grow. That's how you sharpen your life, not by chance, but by choice, one day at a time. Remember this. You don't get paid for the hour. You get paid for the value you bring to the hour. And reflection is how you multiply that value. But don't stop at reflecting. Go one step further. Refine. If today didn't go as planned, ask yourself why. Was it poor preparation? Were you focused or just busy? Did you let distractions lead? Learn from it. Write it down. Make adjustments. Refuse to drag today's mistakes into tomorrow's opportunities. That's what average people do. But you're building something greater. And once you've reflected and refined, it's time to prepare. Lay out your plan for the morning. Set your top priorities. Clear your mind. Because clarity at night becomes confidence in the morning. Think of it this way. If you live each day with intention, you'll never waste years by accident. Small hinges swing big doors, and 10 minutes of nighttime awareness can shift the entire course of your life. So here's the final habit. Before your day ends, close the loop. Don't go to bed with a cluttered mind. Don't let today's lessons fade away. Don't leave your future up to luck. Reflect on today. Refine your approach. Prepare for tomorrow. That's the rhythm of the wise. That's the routine of the productive. And that's how the unstoppable stay unstoppable. Small habits lead to a big life. Now, let's bring it all together. And there you have it. 7 simple habits that transformed my life. Not overnight, but day by day. Remember, it's not about doing everything at once. It's about choosing one habit, starting today, and staying consistent. Because when you master your habits, you shape your future. You don't need luck. You need discipline. So start now, one small step, one powerful habit at a time, and become unstoppable.